Whatever, everybody. Malcolm Kisuro back with another video. It is the morning time, and so that's why I got my frog voice on. I sound like Lil Wayne right now. So I could have swore that I've already touched on this topic before, but I guess I haven't. I was scrolling through my YouTube to see what videos I have and don't have. I could have swore I already spoke about this, but just in case, I'll touch on it again. Basically, the topic is understanding the difference between having a guía espiritual, a ser, a spirit guide that walks with you, and having who and what they honored walk with you. Example, let's say you have a gangulero within your cuadro espiritual. A lot of people have ganguleros. They have Congos that walk with them. Very common spirit to have walking with you, be it male or female. A lot of people have a Congo spirit. That Congo spirit, let's say within their lifetime, however, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, whatever, they were a slave in some country and they honored Zarabanda, Rayo, Insasi, Calunga, Guatariamba, Lucero, Tiembla Tierra, whoever, whatever in Pungo. If you get told you have a Congo that honored Zarabanda and they want a caldero espiritual, that Congo wants a caldero espiritual dedicated to them. It's a spiritual cauldron. Un casilla, a house for that muerto to live inside of. That does not mean that you have an inganga, nor does it mean that you have Zarabanda walking with you, or a Zarabanda maid when you complete and build that casilla, that Congo's caldero espiritual. Here's a good example, a different one. So there was a time where I went to a misa, and in this misa, he was told, one of the guys, he was a white guy, he was told that he has un vikingo that walks with him, a Viking spirit that walks with him. And that Viking spirit that walks with him honored Odin. He was a devotee of Odin, no different than having a Congo that walks with you that was a devotee of Zarabanda or Rayo, or a Francisca that was a devotee of Madre Agua or Calunga or Chola, whoever. In this case, this dude had a Viking spirit that honored Odin. What the people failed to mention within that misa, what they failed to explain to him, was that he had a Viking spirit that honored Odin. And that person walked out of the misa believing that Odin himself, as a Norse god, walked with him. Damn, my cigar is always going out. It's annoying as hell, man. So yeah, that's the difference. So having a spirit that walks with you is one thing. So if that guy has a Viking spirit, he got like, he's like, oh, that's why I see a bunch of ravens or crows. He said crows, but it's actually the raven that walks with Odin. I'm no expert on Norse mythology. I just play God of War. So he's like, oh, that's why I see a lot of crows over my job. So it's like Odin protected me. And, you know, it wasn't my place. You know, I wasn't the elder. It wasn't, you have to pick your battles. And in this case, I kept shut because I said, yo, let the presidentes of the misa explain this to him. And no one explained it to him. So now the dude's walking around thinking that he's a child of Odin. Like, no, dude, you have a Viking spirit that honored Odin. So what can you do to represent that Viking spirit? Okay, so have something on your bóveda that has a Viking, or even like a little statue of a raven that is symbolic of Odin. But when you smoke that little crow or raven, the raven on your bóveda, maybe the person, an outsider will see, okay, just got a bird on his bóveda. But the spiritist himself, the espiritista himself will know this is going to represent this particular Viking spirit that walks with me. It doesn't mean that you got Odin walking with you, my dude. So if you get told at a misa that you have a Congo spirit that honored Zarabanda, it doesn't mean like, oh, word, yo, Zarabanda himself is walking with me. There's people that got santeros that are walking with them in their cuadro espiritual. That was, you know, or a Haitian spirit, or like a Haitian person that honored Ezeli Danto, Ezeli Freda, Papalegba, Dabalawedo, whoever. It doesn't mean that you have any of those loas walking with you. It means that you have a person within your cuadro espiritual that honored that particular spirit. And so, what are some of the things that you can do to honor that particular spirit? You honor that particular spirit by putting symbols that represent who they honored, but with the clear understanding that you are not honoring what they honored, you're honoring who they are. Example, other than the crow or the raven. Let's say you have a Congo that walks with you who honored Zarabanda. Okay, so he wants a house made. He's been coming up at multiple misas. You have a Congo, and he honored Zarabanda. And so when you make his house, maybe you're gonna put a metal chain around his candero espiritual to represent his devotion to Zarabanda. Not to represent that you have suddenly created your own Zarabanda and now you're just suddenly walking around saying you're a palero. No, the spirit that walked with you honored Zarabanda. So you can do things like, okay, so this guy honored Zarabanda. Okay, so let me put things that represent Zarabanda within his caldero espiritual. Maybe another example is a lot of people have like Franciscas, and the generic thing of Francisca is she was a conga, or like a comisión of congas that honored people like Madre Agua, Calunga. And so a person would leave in front of their Mama Francisca statue or whatever, a glass of water. Sometimes a glass of water with shells. Why? Not because you're putting that glass of water or a glass of water with shells to honor Calunga nor Madre Agua. You're putting that glass of water or the glass of water with shells to acknowledge that that spirit that walks with you is a devotee of Calunga, of Madre Agua. So I mean, there's a few examples right there. I hope I'm getting my point across. There is a difference between having a guía espiritual, a muerto that walks with you, and acknowledging who they honored as a devotee, and actually having that other spirit that they're devoted to walk with you. There's a difference between having a Congo that was a devotee of Siete Rayo or Insasi is the proper name, and actually having Insasi walk with you. Maybe you have in your cuadro espiritual a santero who was crowned Obatala in their lifetime, and they were a devotee of Obatala, and so you put white things to that muerto in acknowledgement of what walks with them. But you don't walk around saying that you're crowned Obatala because you have a guide that was crowned Obatala. It don't work like that. Why does it not work like that? Because that guide is that guide, and they live their life, and you have your life. That's a whole topic in itself of, oh no, I don't need to get crowned because it's already in my blood. It's in my bloodline. If that were the case, so I didn't need to get crowned Obatala because my mom's already crowned Ochun, so it's in my blood. So Obatala is already there. That's not how that works. Why? Because I have my own Ori. Everybody, my mom has her own Ori. It doesn't matter if you got 50 people, everybody in your line is crowned. But if you're not, that means you're not crowned. That's a whole different topic. But it all goes into, there's a difference between you having what walks with you and you honoring and servicing them versus the spirit that you're honoring and servicing, they had their own devotions and spirits that walk with them. A lot of times, maybe, let's say a Congo. I just go to Congo because it's the most common one. A Congo was a devotee of San Antonio de Padua. Just throwing a random, saint out there. So you can put to represent that Congo, or if you already have a statue or a muñeca or muñeco, like a doll to represent that spirit, you could put a little San Antonio de Padua with that statue. Knowing very well that it doesn't mean that San Antonio de Padua walks with you or within your cuadro espiritual, but you are simply acknowledging and giving that acknowledgement to that particular Congo or Conga that walks with you because they honored San Antonio de Padua. That's like 4 examples right there. So I hope y'all enjoyed the topic. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if I need to clarify anything. I think I was clear enough, but let me know if anything, okay? Peace.